Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Pub Table Racers, episode number, I think, 30, 31.
Yeah, we're up there.
We're up there. We're getting there. We're almost getting up to that.
Getting our label right here.
Get your label right. Getting up to the big toes there. So, welcome. Thanks for tuning in tonight. We got a lot going on. Before we get started, my name is Tim Packman. Short track background, NASCAR background, announcing, writing, broadcasting, public relations. Sitting next to me is my co-host,
Warren Brosell.
and the co-owner of Pub Table Racers and the website pubtableracers.com. Well, Warren, we have in front of us, like we always do,
A ice cold
Ice
bucket.
cold.
Ice cold bucket of
I think.
Highlights.
And why do we have that ice cold bucket on it?
Because we both worked for Bobby Allison,
Yeah.
which was his beer and still his beer.
Still his beer, yes it is.
And he's our childhood hero.
Right.
And our hero now even. So
And I'm going to name drop. I had dinner with him tonight, and we had a Miller High Life together.
Good.
Pictures on there.
Take a drink of that.
I got to
Otherwise,
take a
I
drink
get
of it.
people texting
I
me
know.
saying,
Sorry, I don't mean to jerk there. That's good tonight.
all right,
That's kind of tasty.
we can roll.
We can roll. All right. This show is brought to you by, as you can see, the back of the computer, Lake Norman Patio and Game Rooms on Brawley School Road in Mooresville, right by Canvas back and O. Go see Brad and JoJo. And I think Patrick's back there working. New supplies coming in. The game rooms downstairs. You got to go see everything they have down there. Pool tables, hockey, foosball, a bunch of new stuff coming in. Go see them. So we appreciate him. We have Mike Wallace joining us. Wahoo.
Air hockey.
Bender, air hockey. And Bender, Wahoo. So Zoanne got her Tumblr. And speaking of, check out our website, pubtableracers.com. A new story went up today about Talladega. And also, you know what? The good thing is, we have merchandise, like koozies and hats and shirts like Warren's wearing there. And we got the tumblers came in, so go check it out. Get yourself a nice something there. And besides, we don't want to beg, but we need it for beer money, right?
Yeah, beer
money. So strictly all this goes
We
to.
make absolutely nothing on this.
Right, nothing. Just, we get it to you. So.
We're struggling artists.
Hey, Amanda
Starving
Miller,
artists.
Starving. I don't know about the artist part.
We're struggling.
We're struggling. Yeah. They got Troy Prince, the Garage Sharp, Snarky's
right.
in, Ginger Baker Russ, my sister Cheryl Darnell. Wow, we got all the superstars are in here today.
Troy Prince,
Troy
DI8,
Prince?
DI8 guy.
8 guy, that's right. All right, before we get started, a little sad note. This past weekend, we lost J.J. D'Amato. I've known him for 20 years. He started NASCAR licensing, worked at Joe Gibbs Racing. He was playing street hockey. That's how him and I met. We bonded over hockey. When I first started, he passed away. Had heart attack, passed away. So tonight we're going to dedicate this show to JJ. Godspeed, my friend.
Yeah, I got a guy that just passed away from RCR also, Eddie Lowry. He was a longtime NASCAR guy.
Okay.
Super nice guy. Been in sport forever. And yeah, he passed away. I'm not sure if it was yesterday or the day before. But yeah, cheers to Eddie. He's probably happy we're drinking a beer.
Okay, so to those guys. And
He worked with Adam Petty.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's...
Yeah. Chris Chase and stuff.
They
all know.
All right, that's cool. And by the way, happy birthday to my mom tomorrow. So happy birthday, Mom. You're tuned in. Love you. Thanks for everything. Cheers to Mom. That's right. I'm going to get my ass whipped.
I have to fill this bucket.
I have to fill this bucket. That's right. I have to put a kid out of destroying the world there. All right, here we go. Tonight's show.
Should we have one more, just quick?
For what?
Happy birthday, Mike Brill. He turned 50.
Oh, yeah, we went to his birthday party. I went to a surprise party. Brill wanted to know, we're going to go live. He wanted to go live for his birthday. So, good time. Thanks for inviting us. Hey, everybody. This is Tim and Warren from Pub Table Racers. A lot of you have been asking, hey, what other merchandise do you have? We have hats, T-shirts, stickers, kids' books. We have it. Let's just show them, Warren. Show them the hats real quick.
Hats.
So they're the white, vented,
Right.
back, snapback, trucker style. And
They come in small, medium, and large.
Depending how you snap them, that's good. Also, we have our black T-shirts, Pub Table Race T-shirts in large, extra large, and double XL. Warren, we also have left. Which ones we have?
These are the Heather Gray. Heather Gray.
Very soft, nice. It's good. So
I have
those.
one
You have one on.
My favorite.
That's it. We have those available. Also, people ask about the children's book I wrote, award-winning children's book. I can say that. This is the paperback version. And this is the activity book for kids, and you can see that. And also, what do we have brand new, Warren? Stickers! $3, you can get a sticker. You can put it on your
car,
notebook,
your motorcycle.
Motorcycle?
Right, sure.
You can put it on your bucket of beer, whatever you want to do. We don't care. So check us out. It's on the website. The store's right there. Log in, order. We'll ship it right to you. So there you go, folks. Pub Table Racers merchandise. Thanks. Now we're ready?
Yeah.
Now we're ready. Okay. He just come up with stuff to toast to. That's great. All right. So tonight we're going to talk about Talladega trucks, Xfinity, and then the Cup finish, yellow lines, things like that. And then our guest tonight will be Jeff Clark, a longtime member. He's worked with Ernie Irvin, Kenny Irwin, Davey Allison, Dale Jarrett, Dale Jr. Now he's the executive vice president.
Steve Park,
I'm sorry. And now he's the executive vice president, Roush-Yates Engines. Correct? Got it.
Big
Cover
power.
that.
Big power.
Big power. That's right. So let's talk about, news. We got some news. Announced today, Alex Bowman
slides to the 48.
Slides to the 48. Slides to the 48. Now, people say, that means Larson's going to the 88. But what if I threw some speculation out there?
Do it. Because I have no idea what's going on over there.
Okay. They might get rid of the 88 and might bring back the
5.
And so you'd put Larson, so he'd have a whole new number. If he goes there, a whole new number.
Rebrand him.
Start over with that. With our sponsorship.
Right.
But he's been, hanging with Jim Campbell from Chevrolet, doing different diversity things. And by the way, go to KyleLarsonRacing.com. He wrote an awesome
essay.
Essay. That's a good word to put.
That's what I read.
Okay.
They call it.
And it just pretty much explains everything he's been through, how he feels since his suspension, and what he's aware of now. So it's kind of very telling of what he went through and everything, and where he is now. So go check that out. All right, so that's the news on that, because they just moved Chad Knaus into upper management. So they're clearing the way for everything for a new driver, crew chief combination.
Right.
Maybe number, sponsor.
Maybe a new beginning.
New beginning. And you know what? People deserve second chances. It's not what you do, it's what you do afterwards. That's what I was saying. All right, so that's that. Talladega, truck race. Saturday was at 1 o'clock. They wrecked early.
Wrecked late.
Wrecked late. Yeah, they wrecked in the middle. Last lap, white flag flies. Stuart Frieden's leading. We know if you're leading on the last lap, it doesn't always work out for you at Talladega. He gets jostled, gets up, brushes the wall, he falls back.
Right.
And Raphael Lessard, Raphael Lessard, French-Canadian out of Quebec, just moved here this year to run for Kyle Busch Motorsports, gets the victory after they froze the field.
Because the wreck was behind.
Yeah. The wreck was happening, and they froze the field, so thus he was declared the winner.
Right. I don't even want to get into the rules with that speedway stuff.
I'll do it.
Because it's just not.
I understand.
Who knows?
Xfinity race. I had the tweet all set to go. Come to Pub Table Races on Tuesday, win on Saturday. Who wants to be on? What driver needs a win to be on Pub Table Racers next?
Yeah, Briscoe.
Win stage 1. Win stage 2. Leading on the last lap. Goes high and gets moved.
I'm watching that race, and I said, as soon as he's the only Ford out there, you're the lone wolf out there. Yeah. And I knew that the Chevrolets were not gonna let him win. Right. I'll say it like that. They weren't gonna let him win.
So Gregson
they're just gonna move you out of the way, and then you ain't got a prayer, and that's how it goes.
And then Gregson gets the back of the 98, sends him up, and then once again they freeze it again. And Justin Haley, before they get the start-finish line, the finish is determined. Before they get to the start-finish line, Justin Haley wins his third, I think it was consecutive plate race.
Yeah. Did they say he's tied with the Earnhardt?
He tied Dale Sr. and 3 in a row.
Yeah.
That's pretty good company.
Yeah, not bad.
Dale Sr. and Dale Jr.
Bad. He does a good job at them places.
He does, and that's colleague racing right there. Then we get to Sunday. We record 13 cautions. Towards the end, 21 car, Ford Power.
Wood Brothers.
Would
have been their 100th win.
Looking for that 100th win. Would have been Matt's first win.
Right.
Would
have been a pretty good story.
Been a great story. But he got up high in the wall, saved it, and then when he came down, he made contact with the 24. 24 goes below the yellow line. As that's going on, here comes the 11 of Denny Hamlin.
Below the yellow line.
Way below the yellow line. They're coming out. He's way down there. No one's
Apparently
here.
he's forced to
He's
slow the
forced
yellow
to slow
line,
the yellow
but he
line.
can still pass
Whatever,
cars.
yeah,
Yeah,
pass cars, no problem.
We'll let everybody. You've seen the race. And we'll make your own conclusion because if you're a Denny Hamlin, and I know plenty of guys on that team,
sure,
so
yeah.
I'm not gonna bash.
Right.
I'd be happy.
Sure, they were very
You
good.
know,
Yeah.
so I'm not gonna be that guy. Just you
Right.
draw your own conclusions with that.
Well,
I was there years ago with the 01 car
Yeah.
and Regan Smith, and he would have had to flip Tony Stewart upside down. Instead, he went below the yellow line, and they took the win away from him.
got it.
And my opinion is either you take and say anything goes,
Right.
or if you touch it or go below it, we don't care what happened.
Right.
You're going to lose 2 laps.
Well,
And you know, not just start back. You got to do something really detrimental. You got to
deter that.
yeah.
Because a plate race, you go back to 21st,
It's a big deal.
3-4 laps,
Right.
and be right back
Right.
there.
Or hey, just get back in line where
Right.
you can,
Right.
and you know, as long as you didn't pass anybody, and
Sure.
you know,
I
so
get it.
you got to have it one way or the other.
So then, as they're coming out of turn 4, it's DeBetto on the front. Byron saves it, comes back up, and heats him. What was it? Denny Hamlin comes up on the low side.
Yeah.
Then it's Byron, and then DeBetto. And they drag race to start finish, and it's Hamlin by .213, something like that.
Right.
0.0213 is your winner. DeBetto finishes second from what we saw. As if it wasn't bad enough that that Denny Hamlin didn't get penalized, and
He did. Now all of a sudden he did.
Okay, yep. If he got penalized, this is just saying if he didn't get penalized,
He finished second.
and then DeBenedetto finished second,
Right.
and then after the race, his interview on pit road was so emotional,
Yeah.
and everything he's been through. I guess there's something going up with his ride, and then later they say NASCAR says, "Oh, guess what? 21, you hit the 24, you forced him below the yellow, so we're going to dock you end of the tip." He has to go. He gets a 21st place finish out of it.
Yeah.
And there goes Hamlin now. I'm not going to say what, but if you listen to the fans when they were interviewing him,
Yeah, they weren't happy.
They were not happy at all. They're booing him. You don't deserve it. You didn't win. Cheater. Oh my God, they're yelling, and then they're yelling.
I was there. I was there one time. I think we should. I'll save it.
Okay.
Save it because I think our guest
Guess
was there.
perfect.
Yeah.
So that's what happened there. So, Dale Jr. said right on the air afterwards, they just need to get rid of that yellow line. And then I think quickly he recanted that a little bit later. Scott Miller said there's no problem. With NASCAR said there's no problem. And then
If you're Denny Hamlin.
If you're Denny Hamlin. And then Denny Hamlin said after the race, he goes, "That's really not an issue." Huh? I mean, Dale Jr. says that there, and Helen Keller's in the stands going, "Look at the 11." So I'm not saying it was, but my thing is this consistency.
It's an issue for some.
Yes, it is a lot. And people are saying get rid of the yellow line. Matt D got robbed. That's Chrissy Wyatt. Darnell, Matt got robbed. Well, I'm just saying what our fans are saying, our viewers. Should have been Matty D. Hello from Florida, Jacqueline. That's Ginger. Tom B. My issue is how long Denny was below the yellow line. And you know what, Tom? There's a few people that said same thing. So, anyhow, Denny Hamlin wins. Off we go. That's that. Hi, everybody. This is Tim Packman from Pub Table Racers, coming to you from Lake Norman Patio and Game Room. I'm coming to you to one of their awesome, incredible pub tables. I'm here with the owner, Brad Doan. Brad, one of our sponsors of the show. Brad, let's take people around and show them exactly what it is you have here. So
Great idea.
Our viewers and website followers can know what you have to come down and get some of these great items.
Fantastic idea,
Okay,
Tim.
thank you.
I'll take that.
There we go, Brad.
Thank you.
Do it.
Okay, where should we start, Tim?
Well, it's your place. I think some of these outdoor tables are really nice.
Yeah, this is one of our top sellers. That is all powder-coated cast aluminum. Okay, comes with 4 swivel bar stools.
Gotta have the swivel.
Got to have the swivel. Actually, a nice footrest down below here. Demonstrate that. This is great 42-inch top with an umbrella hole for your 9-foot umbrella.
Perfect.
Something like that is available right away.
And behind you here, you have this slowly. You have this great Adirondack. It looks like an Adirondack chair.
It is.
Look to it.
That's an Adirondack style bar chair. Again, a swivel bar stool, Tim. And that comes in many different color options. There's a few of the color samples right on top.
Very good.
It's marine grade polymer and maintenance free, lifetime warranty. Amish made, Tim, one of our best sellers.
So all the weather elements withstands them all.
Correct.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Even blizzards?
Yes.
Got it. Because my friends in Buffalo are going to want to.
We could ship to Buffalo.
Okay, here's a nice outdoor fireplace, you call it?
Well, that
Fire
is
pit,
a
I mean?
propane fire pit,
Okay.
Tim. Commercial grade, high BTUs, all weather unit. Of course, comes with optional colored glass, which we'll actually throw in and give you.
Ooh,
And many different options on seating around the fire pit.
very good. So the Adirondack chairs like we see right here?
Yeah, we sell a
Popular
ton of those. Let me
Okay.
just go over here. We just got about 50 of these in the other day.
50 of them.
These are folding Adirondack chairs with a lifetime warranty out of the marine grade polymer. Yes.
Hey, what do we have outside here? Because this is patio furniture, correct?
Yeah, we have some different pub tables and bar tables outside, Tim.
This one's nice. Everyone can sit right at it together.
Yeah, that's very nice. Stainless steel, of course, painted in any color you want. Built-in 4 seats.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's a
More
wonderful thing.
Adirondack chairs, one of the top ones there.
That's right.
Those are very nice. Someone has a house on the lake.
Absolutely. That's one of our balcony chairs. It's a little shorter than a standard bar chair. And of course, chaise lounges. All different color options on those. 20-year warranty on the chaise lounges.
Okay. And then over here we have some really some umbrellas. And look, I see a bar.
Yes, you do. One of the many bars that we sell, Tim. This is a smaller one, a 4-footer. Comes with swivel bar stools. And you can do any color combination. Look at that.
Look at
That's
that.
great. A footrest. Yeah, really great little unit. And we sell a lot of those different colors. These are the bar hide chairs, Tim, in the poly.
Those are nice.
Very, very
That's
nice.
kind of like the Adirondack concept, but on a higher level.
That's
but
correct.
As far as height goes.
Yeah.
Perfect. Look at this. You got a great selection here, Brad.
Thanks, Tim.
Now, the downstairs, we won't go down there today, but what is it you have downstairs for people?
Downstairs.
Winter's coming up, and people need to know, what they can do.
That's correct. Full line of pool tables, shuffleboard tables. Actually, we have a couple of the games up here.
There you go.
Here's a vintage bumper pool table that just came in. And here's a video game over here with 60 arcade games built in.
For sale.
For sale.
Oh.
Everything in here is for sale.
Okay.
We do a lot of deep seating as well. Sunbrella fabric, which is all weather.
Perfect.
And lots of options here, Tim.
All right. Well, do us a favor, Pub Table Racers. Go to lknpatio.com. Check out all the great things. If you're in the Mooresville, Lake Norman area, come out on Brawley School Road. Your canvas back and up. Come in, see Brad and JoJo, and tell them Pub Table Racers sent you. Thank you,
Yes,
Brad.
Joe. Thanks, Tim. See you soon, everybody.
Shall we? Yes, we shall.
Okay, now it's time for a very special guest. This guy has been, I've known him for 18 years. He's been in sport a long time. Warren, we've all worked together at Dale Earnhardt Incorporated. Like we said, he's worked with Robert Yates Racing, and during that time with Davey Allison, also with Ernie Irvin, also with Kenny Irwin, Dale Jr. Now we said he's the executive vice president.
Steve Park.
And Steve Parker. Sorry. We write that down. Park. Okay, got it.
I'm going to keep
Thank
bringing
you.
that
That's
up.
fine. Sorry, Steve.
Because that's what I was on the team.
Oh, that's why it comes back to Warren. So he's now the executive vice president of Roush-Yates Engines. Jeff Clark, come on, Jeff. Save your seat here.
Yes, sir.
Jeff's so tall we couldn't put him on the keg.
Yeah,
we'd
he's
have been
bending down to get through some of my
His,
thresholds here.
So first of all, Jeff, thanks for coming on. Appreciate it. Good
Thank
seeing
you.
you. Appreciate it.
Thank you, buddy.
Thanks,
Can we offer you a nice cold beverage?
in honor of Bobby Allison, sir.
Heck yeah. Now, before we get started, so I did, and I mentioned to Bobby that you were coming on. He goes, "Oh, Jeff Clark, man, he really took care of Davies Engines when he was with him." So just so you know,
Oh, wow.
he remember you and he remember what you did for Davies. So
Cheers.
All right.
guys.
well, then cheers this thing.
Cheers.
Cheers.
You gotta cheers, otherwise Warren gets crappy texts from people. Not cheers.
Well, then
Scott Daniel, they got to drink. Yeah, love the show. Joey Bird. Okay, so Jeff, first of all, how did you get your start? We'll start with that.
So, interesting story.
Where's home for you?
Charlotte, North Carolina
Okay,
is
so,
my home.
okay, got it.
Growing up in Charlotte, when you change high school to your high school from middle school, you meet a whole new group of friends, right?
Right.
Well, we had a certain group of friends growing up from about 6th, 7th grade. We're pretty tight, stayed together. And this new kid came to our school from another one. His name was Doug Yates.
Right.
And we adopted him real quick. He fit right into our group, and we were all fast friends.
Okay.
From about the time we were 15 years old. We were younger than our friends. We're a day apart. So Doug is 1 day older than me.
Okay.
So he's always my older brother, the older one, and I'm the wilder younger one.
Got it. Okay. Right.
So we, but fast friends since 10th grade. and all the way through high school on to college, and then post-college, you're starting to look for your jobs. He went right into racing. You know, he was an engineer from NC State, went in to work with Robert in the engine department. I was working in an insurance company for my family as an underwriter, so I'm behind a desk all day. But I loved going to the race shop and growing up around it, and always reading the reports on Monday, who won, who finished where Robert's cars. We were just, you know, going home about it. So long story short, I went over for that summer to paint the shop. And while I'm painting the shop, Jake Elder was our crew chief.
Okay.
And he said, "Son, get off that ladder, come in the parking lot. I want you to try something." And I'm like, "All right."
We know where this is going.
So he said, "Guys, tell me you played little sports in high school and college. We're going to see if you can be our jack man." He said, "My current jack man is worn out. His back is hurting. Plus, he's our engine builder. He drives our truck. And his wife said, if we don't fix this, I may lose my job. So we're going to try you out, kid." So had me run around the parking lot, do the laps around the car, get in the rhythm of using the jack. And he said, "All right, the stopwatch looks pretty good. Let me go get Robert." And this is a cool story. So
The Robert Yates.
Robert Yates comes out because this was his job, and I'm trying to take his job, which was kind of intimidating. So, and I'm still thinking this is Mr. Yates. You know, I'm not used to calling him Robert yet.
Right.
So Robert said, "Go get a drink of water. When you come out, you go as hard as you can go. You're going to jack the right side up. You're going to drop it. I'm going to time you from dropping the right side to how fast you get to the left." So I'm like, "All right, this is my shot, right?" So car's up on the right. I drop it. I'm going around, and you're going so hard, you're kind of laid out like a water skier, right?
Sure.
My feet come out from underneath me, man. And I'm trying to save the jack, so I put my elbow down, I bounce off my elbow, I get up, and I keep going, I finish the stop, arm was bleeding. And he said, "Man, I think you got the job." I'm like, "What?" He said, "Come up here, let me show you what happened." He said, "When you went to get that drink of water, we put speedy dry on the front of the car." And he said, we knew you were going to fall. And he said, "We wanted to see if you're going to cry about your elbow,
Right,
or you're going to finish the stop."
Wow.
And he said, "You keep practicing, we'll give you a shot at the Daytona 500.
Nice.
And that was 1991, first race, going over the wall at Daytona 500.
That was your first race.
Yes.
And the driver was?
Davey Allison.
Oh my gosh.
Now we sat on the pole, running really well till about 8-10 to go with Earnhardt and Kyle, and we got a nice little tangle on the back stretch and didn't finish. The next year we did, we ran well, 92, won the 500 with Davey, and I was sold. I was trying to find out how to go full time at that point.
Perfect.
And that's what I ended up doing. I ended up using the jackman position, kind of like a scholarship, traded it to get a job in the engine department as a teardown guy, washing parts, stocking shelves, making oil lines, all the stuff you do back then.
Making a lot of money about it.
No. Yeah, we actually, so that's the funny thing. That's before all the fancy grills and restaurants behind the trucks. We had the refrigerator had a little bit of slick meat in it, which is like, you know, bologna or ham
sandwich,
and
Wonder Bread.
And you made your own. You didn't have your truck driver like yourself. You were on your own. And we honestly, if you came on the weekends, you had to pay your own license fees, like $25 to sign in. We paid our own back then. So that's how it was.
Kind of like short track, everything would be pit pass.
Yeah.
Wow. So that's how you started. So anyone who out there listening or watching, you're like, well, you jumped right into Cup, but that was back in 91.
91.
Yeah. So that's gone. So those days are gone.
Yeah, and even like, so when I was ASA racing and we were sponsored by Miller, I used to say I work for beer. You know what I mean? Because there was always 10 cases of Miller.
Right.
And you got some beer when you were done.
Sure.
You know, you maybe got a hamburger or something, but you it wasn't.
Right.
You know, you were working during the week.
Yeah.
You know, that was your pay.
That's all right.
So that Daytona 500 that we won with Davey, that was my first year full time, and I didn't realize. I thought I knew the hours you worked in racing, but literally you show up at 6:37, and Doug and I would stay till 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. We would stay until the police officers came to shut the dynos down at night.
Because you guys were in a neyborhood.
Downtown.
Yeah,
they're
right off the freeway.
And there was fencing, like serious fencing, to keep people in. To keep
Well, kept them in too.
Yeah.
But we showed up that Daytona 500, and if you look into the Victory Lane pictures, we are the pastiest white, like no suntan, but the blackest eyes, but the biggest smiles. We were like we were zombies, but we were all in. If
you go to our Facebook page, when we promoted that Jeff was going to be on, I added a bunch of pictures just for the show of Jeff through the years and stuff he's done. So it's pretty amazing the who's who that you've worked with. So give us a Davey story that you one that sticks out, your time with him.
Man, there's a bunch of them. the best part about him, that was back before I'd say racing got really, superstar big, and just the amount of time he'd spend with you. Robert and Carolyn would always host a Christmas party, and we'd literally have it in the garage of their house. It wasn't a big fancy deal, but Davey'd always be there. Had like the ugly Christmas sweater contest kind of thing. And just the way he would show up and shake everybody's hands and take care of the people. That's the best thing about him. And man, one of the toughest guys. He wasn't the biggest guy, but I'm telling you, from heart and determination, one of the toughest guys. Those wrecks he took that year, the All-Star race, man, Pocono. I remember everybody went to see him at the hospital, and he was so swollen right afterwards. And then he showed up at the track next week, and his eyes, there was no white. And
Remember that?
Yeah, they were all red and black and blue.
He did the press conference. He was, "You want me to take these off?"
Yeah,
he took them off, and it was like, "Holy crap!" He raced.
It scared you. It scared you looking at him. But he was tough, and the only thing we missed there was a championship with him. Wish, when you have people that pass and you lose them,
right?
You wish you could have, gone out on a high note, but he was that way every day.
How great he was becoming and was gonna be.
Yes.
You'd think if that guy could have raced another 10 years, what he might have done.
I don't think if him and Ernie Irvin would have stayed healthy, I don't think there would have been a lot of championships that were.
There's a few of them we can talk, like Allen. I think Corky was in that, and then that same class.
Competing with him.
Yeah.
The biggest race in '92, that championship.
Right.
It was tight down there with Atlanta. I think the best thing with Davey, and I saw this, and I think everybody saw it, but at Martinsville, second race, man, when he sat there at the fence and literally signed autographs almost dark, like almost 9:30 at night, and to the last fan could ask for an autograph. And when you saw that kind of dedication to his fans, and that just showed you his character, his heart.
Right.
His dad was taught by a guy named Crash Armstrong. Hey kid, every request for an autograph is a compliment, and he passed that down to Davey. Davey, carried that on like Bobby did. So you go through those years, and then we lose him, and then Ernie steps in. Yeah. What was that transition like for you guys? It had to. Your heart's here, but your brain now has to be here.
Yeah, one of the toughest days was that Pocono race we didn't go to, and you watched it on TV, and that just, you sink on those days.
Right.
But getting back to the racetrack was the best medicine, I'd say. And then it was a little rough with Ernie. We tore some cars up, banged some cars up. But once he set in and him and Larry McReynolds clicked, man, it was so impressive. As talented as Davey was, finesse, Ernie was just like Tasmanian devil. He would go in until something happened. Exactly. Yeah, right. He'd always tell you, he said, "Well, I'm going to go in the corner until something happens." And it means until it breaks loose, and then I know that's my limit, and then I try and fix it from there. And he would drive every racetrack that hard. And fit well with the team. Everybody clicked, and then started clicking off wins. And I think even the year he got hurt, he led the laps, and that was one of the tire war years.
With the Hoosiers.
I think right up until the end, Jeff Bodine finally passed him with laps led, but he led majority of the season up till he was even in the car for half the season as he was hurt, and he still had most laps led till I think 3 or 4 races in the season. That just showed you how.
Did you guys ever put the Hoosiers on? Bodine was on the Hoosiers, I remember.
We never went to Hoosier. Robert was always one of the most loyal guys in the garage. Even if it was a fault in it, he would help people figure out the problem and make it better. But he was dedicated to Goodyear, and we always stayed on the Goodyear tires.
Okay.
So that was our deal.
Speaking of Robert, what's Hall of Famer? What's one of the biggest things you learned from him?
Man, never give up. Always be prepared. It's kind of a Boy Scout motto, but he was just that. And the never give up is not just grit and determination. It's thinking. Keep your mind working. Figure it out.
Because he was always in there tinkering, and you could see him with the problems and load down. It was
great problem.
Not just like you guys take care of it. I'm going to jump in. So then you have Ernie. One of the best memories with Ernie.
Wow. Couple of them. I think the Charlotte race. This is a really cool story. So one of the kids in Doug's neighborhood when he was in elementary school was a police officer. And there was a bad situation one night in Charlotte where 2 officers were shot and killed in the line of duty. And Ernie and Robert said, "Well, whatever we win from today's race, we're gonna all in give it to the Charlotte Police Department." Well, we not only win the race, but we led all but 3 laps. The only 3 laps we didn't lead were the ones we came down pit road to pit.
Where was that? You were?
Charlotte, the
Okay,
fall
sure,
race.
sorry.
Okay.
Sorry.
So
I'm
that
not
was
seeing
a
which
great
one.
deal to win that race, dominate.
Yeah.
Bill Jr. was still with us at the time, and as we were rolling through Victory Lane and coming to the post race, he walked by and did this little snip thing.
You
Like,
talking
what?
about Bill France Jr.?
Bill Jr. said, hey, we're going to fix that spoiler on that car on Monday. And sure enough, the rule book comes out Monday, and they took a 1/4 inch off the spoiler and the valance.
So Bill Jr. comes to go on that?
What
that's
year was
awesome.
that?
Man, that was
Was that
394?
94 probably.
okay?
Yeah, that was one of the first times you realized what that meant.
Right.
Don't,
So they just did that to the Fords only.
the Fords.
Okay.
Don't stink
Okay.
up my show.
Right.
And back then, I think everybody remembered the politics were played at the Red Trailer. You know,
Right.
you'd have
Oh,
all the Chevrolet executives in there working. You know,
Yeah.
Bill Jr. and Mike Helton.
So
And
they knocked some drag out of that thing that had all that big power, and you
Right.
still won.
So,
we had a good year, but that was one of the best memories. Ernie was very generous. Very determined. You know, he came from simple beginnings too. You know, I
Right.
remember Vic Urban, his dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, coming out here from California, getting a chance in the car with the Earnhardt Chevrolet car. You know, to run a Cup race.
well, that's
and
right.
Kind of perpetuated him and went to the Kodak car.
Right?
And then when that thing kind of ran its course, and you see performance cycles,
Yep.
crew chiefs and drivers, owners. It's like baseball or football.
Yeah.
You run the course, and then you got to make a change.
Right.
He made a really good change with us, and great friends even today.
Good.
So that's good.
Jody Bernhardt says, I will say Jeff is the most amazing person I ever worked with. He is so talented. I'm so proud to call him a friend. There you go.
Thank you, Jody. Good to
Bull-
see you.
Bull from DI.
Bull,
Yeah,
yeah.
Bull, okay, Bull, okay, thank
And
you.
he's a very talented fabricator.
He is,
and
yeah.
One of the best
And a
guys.
great
you ever
guy,
met.
yeah.
Great family, great guy.
So then Kenny Irwin enters the picture.
He did. So that was a
Rash, wasn't he? Just here I am, we're going to go race.
So, you know, Jeff Gordon comes in from the open wheel world, sets the world on fire. Robert's looking for that same type of sensation, so was Ford. Kenny Irwin came in through the truck series, you know, driving the Ultra truck, and man, really talented. So Robert took a chance, signed him. We started out with running some ARCA races. Went to Daytona, won the ARCA race. It's a great way to get your confidence, get the team,
Yep.
listen to his feedback on the
Yeah.
car. He had a tough start. You know, he was filling big shoes, trying to get in that car, and he had some really good runs. I'll never forget Atlanta, that first rookie year. Sometimes he was really shining, but he was still trying to adjust. He was still young. He still wanted to have fun, and I think,
Next question.
yeah, oh yeah, he was a lot of fun always train,
Right.
but he was also still driving sprint cars all the
Right.
time and getting hurt. I mean, he took some serious spills. I mean, coming to
Yeah.
the track, our track, with bruises down his shoulders.
Yeah.
And like, what are you doing in his car still? And he said, well, that's what I love to do. Very soon after that, a lot of the team owners that were hiring sprint car guys started putting clauses
Yeah,
in,
to
hey,
stop.
stop that
Off
stuff
season.
during our season. Off season, chili bowl, I
That's
get it,
good.
but not while you're on our clock and our guys are counting on you to run races.
So did you guys? I heard a story, and you know, you always wonder if this stuff is. Did you guys take him to, was it Richmond or Martinsville, and do like 1,000? He had to
Yes.
run like 1,000 laps at a test.
We did. We ran we ran like 2 races.
It was like stupid amount of laps. Like
Yeah.
just wore him out. Like you're gonna learn this.
Okay.
It's like, you know, it's like walking the dog until it goes to the bathroom. You know?
Right. So yes, Robert was determined that that was the toughest track on the course
Right.
of the series.
Was
for
it
us to learn.
Richmond?
Yeah, no, it was Martinsville.
Martinsville. Okay.
Gee.
And at that point, Slugger Lappy had come on board to help. Mark Reno started with them, and they weren't clicking, so we made a quick change to Slugger, and actually ran pretty good finally. The first Martinsville was, we thought he had a spring out of the bucket. He was just lost. After running those laps, went to the fall race, and man, I think he finished, I don't know, if you look back in the record books, but he finished respectable in the second race. And about the time he was really clicking, I think Texaco and Ford, they were wanting changes, and they were figuring, what do we do here? What's next? And so you saw more changes happen, and that's
Right.
when he ended up going over to the Sabatas team.
Yeah.
I think the
It was Bell South,
Right.
whatever the car number
the real
was.
pretty rainbow car.
Yes.
Yeah, that's it.
So that was Kenny's run with us there, and that was about the time I also exited to go to work for
Oh, we have
Penske.
a caller.
We have a caller. So actually went to work for Penske for a year
Right.
in Rusty, and we had a great year there.
At
Won
least she answers.
5 races, went to Japan,
So you went to all the Japan races.
Yeah. So
Real
7
quick,
pole winner race.
before we go on, I'm going to ask you about that, but give us an off-track story you can tell us about Kenny Irwin, because I know a lot of people said that kid was so much fun to hang out with.
He was a prankster.
Yes, that's what I was getting.
And it always depended, like he was getting comfortable with all the lake crowd. Always liked being on the lake. And Ron Hornaday and those guys had great times on the lake with the house they had right there on the water.
Yep.
So I won't get into too many details, but Kenny could run real hard off the track and on the track. So
I had a beer with Hornaday today.
Oh, wow.
I was on a Hall of Fame tour. He said to say hey too.
yeah, but you'll never forget that smile of Kenny.
Yeah, right.
And you know, as much as I have fun and wild side, he had a real good Christian upbringing. Grew up in Lutheran church, and we clicked on all those things. I'm a Lutheran growing up too, so you know, you knew he had his life intact.
Right, his mind was right.
Yeah, he was just having fun. He was a kid in a very fortunate situation, driving one of the hottest cars on the circuit,
Right.
and think like everybody, fame, you know, things. Have fun with, enjoy it. He always kept it in perspective.
Good.
Didn't get too far over his ski tips, as we say. And just unfortunately, we lost him so
Yes.
soon.
Right, absolutely.
Darnell says Kenny was out way too late at Kelly's pub at Indy the night before qualifying. Don't be shocked by that, Darnell.
Well, I was going to say, depending if you're in the lake or in Indy. If you're in Indy, you better hang on. He'd take a few of us out.
Wahoo Sam says, one of the best guys I know. I owe this to him. Please tell him I said thanks. And bring back the burnout bike.
Yeah.
What's the burnout bike, Jeff?
Well, we had a little side road for a while when I left racing full time.
Right.
Was only on the weekends with the Budweiser team, and actually got involved with a motorcycle dealership with my brother and my dad. Great times to do that. We built a lot of really cool custom Harleys, and one was looked like a pro stock drag bike, but it had a cup tire on the back of it, a single-sided swing arm.
Okay.
We do burnouts with a NASCAR tire.
Nice.
We would do pit stops, change the tire, and then put the final tire on and stay in the burnout till we blew the tire. And we'd go to bike rallies. We'd be at Daytona Bike Week.
Sure.
Sturgis was, you just can't imagine. Like, we'd be on stage before Velvet Revolver or before Guns N' Roses.
Oh, really?
We'd be on the stage doing the burnout. We took Dale Jr. one year. Him and Kenny Burstein.
I'm sure you had a terrible time.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Kid Rock, we were having a good weekend there. And we did Toby Keith's concert and then Kid Rock's concert. They were back to back, and all their motorhomes wasn't quite like the driver motorhome lot. This is out in Sturgis, Wild West, so to say.
Just park wherever.
But we had a lot of fun. We built a custom bike for Kenny Bernstein's son, Brandon, who top fuel racer, good friend of ours, the Budweiser relationship. And Dale Jr. came out to help us present it to Brandon.
That's good.
So it was pretty cool.
Very cool. All right, so we go from that. Speaking of Dale Jr., Aaron Brown, sorry. Got your hopes there.
We're big time now.
The garage shop said, he says burnout bikes. We're going to have, he's the king of snarky. We actually should do a show from his place, all the cool stuff he's got going. All the Bonneville.
I heard he's got a mean dog, though. He's got to put it up or something.
Okay, we don't just mean
or muzzle on it.
We do Aaron's engines as well.
Oh, you do?
For
that's it.
Yeah.
Jennifer Joe Cobb went 223 miles on a cup car on the Arkansas mile last week, so that's pretty cool you did that.
Yeah.
William Francis says, saw Jeff in Myrtle Beach for Bike Week. Bike was cool. Just sharing them on there. If you folks have any questions, chime in here. This is it's audience participation,
right? Not
just drinking beer at home with us. We'd like you to ask questions of.
That's my job to drink the beer,
and he does a damn good job of it, doesn't he? And so, any questions or comments for Jeff? Chime in. That's what we're here for. All right. So then you go. Now you end up at a Chevrolet team.
Oh yes.
You're Ford all those years.
Yes.
And now you go Chevrolet.
So I told you I was at Penske for about a year.
Right.
Ended up back at Yates.
Right.
Go to Daytona. Earnhart comes walking up in the garage, does that thing and puts the arm around Dale Sr.
This guy here.
And he goes, "What are you doing back in this jersey?" And I said, "Going back home. That's where I feel comfortable. Didn't really fit in with the Penske thing right now. Just a lot going on. I like this program here, back home." And he made a comment. He said, "It's kind of like girlfriend in high school. You can go back, but it's not going to be working out. When this blows up, you call me." And sure enough, Doug and I were young and real headstrong. We start butting heads at Daytona. I actually leave right after the Daytona 500. I'm out. My phone rings at home Monday morning, And he said, I told you I was going to blow up. And I'm like, who is this? And this time he had the phone on the wall like a house phone.
Right.
Yeah.
And so he said, get your pay stub.
Wait, did you hang up on him?
No.
Oh, well, wait a minute.
I don't know
because
what it was.
Almost everybody with Steve Park hung up on him. Johnny Benson hung up on him. Mike Wallace.
Yeah, they all hung up.
They
hung
were
up.
drivers. I did a job.
He's like, I don't care who you are. Where should I
did a
meet
job.
you?
So he
You
said,
sound like Dale Earnhardt.
yeah, so it's the
I
funny
don't care if
part.
you're out of your car.
He goes, come on up, let's talk about an
Wait, why did I tell you
opportunity.
to bring your pay stub?
He said, bring your pay stub. I'm
You want
like,
to see how much
what?
you made?
Oh.
So I get up there and I said, we're talking. He said, don't be worried about the Chevrolet. It's just 8 cylinders, valves, they'll go up and down. Just different fire and order. He said, we want you. We like your personality. We like how hard you work. We watch you, pay attention.
Right.
You're going to fit in great. You're going to work with Steve Park.
Okay.
Get you started, learn our system here. And then in about a year, we're going to bring Dale Jr. and we're going to have him in a
Okay.
car.
Got it.
And this is before he even got in the Bush car. And
Right.
we're
So
like,
you were
wow.
there prepping for that, for
Right.
the arrival.
Right.
Yeah,
That's
you must have got there in '97.
Right, 96, and
96,
96.
okay.
Yeah. So long story short, he took us out. He and I got in the pickup truck, drove all over the property. He's telling me we're going to build this here, we're going to build that there. The only thing at the time was the center section, which is like
Garage
the main
Mahal.
garage
Right.
mahal.
Right. The fab shop wasn't there.
Fab shop, all the new
other
buildings.
building behind it. Yeah.
So we drove down by the house, by the pond, and then came back up by the chicken farm shop, which
Right.
was at the time was Bush shop. I
Yep.
think
What time of year was that? Was it summer?
it was in the summer. No. This is February, March.
Oh,
This is early.
Because you go by that chicken. Wow.
The flies and everything.
Jeez.
The smell alone.
So
Right.
we had Jeff Green in the car at the time.
Okay, John. Yeah.
Hornaday was in the truck.
Right.
And Park had just signed to come on.
AC Delta.
It was a year. It was actually, remember he got hurt the first year? in
Yes.
Atlanta?
Yep.
Yes.
So this is his comeback year.
Yeah, he
Ah,
made
okay.
like 2 races and then he broke his leg.
Atlanta.
And then Darrell Waltrip got in the car.
Rejuvenated his
And then
career.
the next
Yes.
year, then Steve got in it. Yeah.
So,
So-
question. So you're like you grew up around the area, so it's not like we come from Buffalo and Wisconsin.
Buffalo, Wisconsin. No,
Buffalo and Buffalo
I
and
come from Milwaukee.
Milwaukee. Sorry, Milwaukee. It's all big one thing. But see,
You could say New York.
in Wisconsin, everybody's a Packers fan. In New York, not everybody's a Bills fan. So they're riding around Dale Earnhardt. That had to be like, what am I doing here moment? Like you're just kind of like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was, I don't know, like I can go back to those times when you're on the road and the road crew traveling.
Mm-hmm.
The road crew, when you show up early, everybody's, when you unload the trucks, if there's a door stuck, everybody tries to help.
Yeah.
There's a lot of camaraderie.
Right.
When the race started, when the green flags dropped, man, that's when you're game on. But
Right.
everybody really worked together. If we wanted to go hang out somewhere, sometimes Dale would invite us to go over hang out with them.
Okay.
In Talladega, they go hunting. The Gibbs brothers had their
Yes.
deal in
Yes.
a party.
Yep.
We used to go do things like that. You could do a lot more before phones had cameras on them and cell
Yeah.
phones, and it changed everybody's life because
Yeah.
what was just a good time
Sure.
may have been perceived differently in today's time as being politically correct.
That was fun. Dad's like, oh, you sure want
But,
to do that?
but to your point, yeah, it was pretty
Yeah.
intimidating, or just, man, I was in awe riding around. I'm thinking, this guy's a race car driver, and this guy, you're starting to see the business side of him.
Human.
Why these guys work so hard up here, because
Yeah,
they
human.
love working for him, and he's on the floor every day with
Yep.
everybody.
Well, you knew he was.
You hear those boots
yeah, he
walking the
was-
hallways, you knew
yeah.
where he was.
Right.
See, I started there at the beginning of 03, so
Right.
I didn't part of it. You guys had that opportunity, but I heard enough stories to be like, oh, okay, interesting, awesome. So you do that. So now Dale Jr.'s, you work with those guys, and then Dale Jr. They put him in a car, and you started working with him in the.
Well, he won with
Bush-
Steve Park and
Won.
I
Yeah.
at Watkins Glen.
Yes. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm sorry. I missed one of Warren's wins. I'm sorry. I apologize. In a minute, the Martinsville clock's going to go off. That's another one of his wins. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just,
I know. Hey, I remember that
He's
win.
a special guy,
He
great
is.
friend to all of us.
Yeah.
Worked hard, man. He worked so hard. And honestly, he invested a lot of time in the front end of DEI when the cars weren't really as good as they had gotten over the years.
Yeah.
So he spent a lot of his talent helping DEI perfect their cars.
Right.
And so I think that was his big investment. And he had gotten hurt
Right.
severely in one of their cars. And thank you for the safety that we had in them. But
Right.
his recovery, the win at Rockingham,
Yeah.
man, incredible on the comeback after Dale had passed at Daytona. So, big special place in our hearts with Steve Park.
Yeah, that was good. I remember that you guys were all up on the wall with the pennants, the
Yep.
3
Oh,
pennants,
yeah.
and we all got. I still have that hat. Remember the hat with the
Yes.
swirl and the 3? They hand them out. I think I want those too. I mean, it was just touching. It was just perfect.
So, you're an engine tuner, and I know you and Richie Gilmore have a good rapport. Richie's a ECR guy, and were you able to bring stuff to the table for him from Yates from Ford?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing, back in the day, crew chiefs would leave and they have a notebook, right?
Right.
Engine guys, they either have like a camshaft in their head or certain piston design.
Right.
So you don't bring a notebook, but you have
You know it. It's in your head.
Kind of like an aerofab guy, like yourself.
like you're
Right.
moving air on the car, we're
Right.
moving air through the engine, right?
Exactly.
The biggest thing I think I brought, Robert was phenomenal with carburetors, and not that I brought any secrets over across the table, but just the approach to carburetors
And your knowledge of working with
how
them.
they should function.
Yeah.
And I saw things on our power curve that we changed in our carburetors and really helped the mid to top end, helped fuel economy. It was thing I thought I was contributing. Matter of fact, good story. We had a really good road course set up, and Earnhardt's at Sonoma, bouncing over the curbs and stumbling, can't get to stumble out. Well, he came to Steve and said, "Man, is your car stumbling too?" He said, "No, man, this is the first time they've never stumbled." Earnhardt sends Dan Lawrence down to our truck to get a carburetor. And he said, "I need a carburetor." I said, "I'm not getting you anything." Dale Sr. comes down in his driver's suit. He said, "What part didn't you understand?" I said, "I'm a carburetor." And I said, "You don't race on this team." He said, "Do you like working on this race team?"
He wasn't laughing when he said it.
No. So I opened the door and I said, "Which one?" And he took it down
Here's
there.
this nice two barrel.
Yeah. So they and that's tough because
Well, you're racing against them.
against him, but also his guys are working hard to fix
Right.
the problem.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
But that was also we're in our infancy stages.
Sure.
There was almost a race where we're going to pull an engine out and put a Childress engine in because we didn't think our engines were running right.
Right.
And we worked through it. It was our car. We had really tight. You could have put two engines in the car that day. We wouldn't have fixed it at short.
Right.
Okay, right.
But anyways, we learned a lot. Everybody had thick skin back then, and Dale Sr. just drove it home with all of us. To, hey, you're not here for the short term. We're here for the long term.
Right.
We're building something.
I went through that with Cowles between ECR and RCR.
Right.
Or DEI,
Yeah.
DEI and RCR,
Right.
and I was doing some stuff with some Cowles when we had carburetors,
Yes.
and you could make a difference,
Well,
and it got big, but that's a whole other story.
That's good. Those are good stories.
well,
though.
talking about making things big.
What's up, Frank?
DEI's aero department made the engines look good. So coming from an engine house, Yates all about engines, right? And
Right.
they would always make the car run better, just put more engine, more power. The guys at DEI, when the whole RAD program was in its heyday, they built some cars that I think the one time when we lost the left front quarter panel at Daytona, was still running third,
Yep.
passing
Yeah.
people. It showed how good the whole car was.
Yeah.
And everybody thought they must have 500 horsepower, or NASCAR gave them a special plate.
Special plate,
it was
yeah,
The
yeah.
whole car, these guys built great cars, made the engine guys' job really good.
I think I'll say it like this: whenever you're running good, because we always, and as an aero guy
Right.
and as an engine guy, we just compliment each other.
Right.
You know what I mean? Everybody's happy. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like, wow, them motors are really, got big power, and engines are good, and they're saying, God, them guys finally got their aero right. You know what I mean? So it's like whenever you're running good, it's a compliment for.
Well, it got to a point when we put the car in line for a plate race, we'd go get ready to start tear down. And everybody's like, "Oh, you guys are pretty cocky." And I said, "No, we know we're going to be there." and we lo and behold, we'd be there. It's like, I think there's a 3-year stretch. We won every
Everything.
plate race
Yeah.
except for the July race, fuel mileage, which
Right.
we had to pit, and we drove back around up to like, what, 6th?
Yeah, I think didn't Biffle win it or something?
Reagan. Right.
Okay.
Dave Reagan
Okay.
won it. And Doug rose that one, and he said, "Yeah, we broke your streak." So I still get that a little bit.
So let's go back to DI real quick because those years, like 2001, let's say 1, 2,
I'm gonna
2,
say-
3, 4, 5, 6. It was like
2000.
yeah, true
Beyond,
because it
yeah.
was phenomenal. Like you just showed, go okay, we're gonna win here, and you just expected it, and it was and what you guys did in the car. Where was it? Talladega. They lost the front. Pop rode on him and Dale Jr. and Steve Park raced each other around, and next thing you know, Dale Jr. goes to victory lane. And you're like, how did that happen?
So the story I wanted to bring up, and I can't remember when it was, but when the fans threw all the beer cans, and I mean the fans just went wild.
Yeah.
something happened. We got the race taken away from us, and the fans at Talladega just went crazy.
Right.
Or we won and they went crazy. I can't remember.
Yeah.
But the beer cans. I'm talking about angry fans from
Right.
the
Yeah.
below the yellow line
Okay.
thing. Whatever happened to fan? There was beer. I mean, it was like, wow, we
There
can
were
get
two of
away with
those.
some
There
beer.
was
Kill ya.
Talladega,
Yeah.
and then there was July night race where it was insane how much trash was on the track. They were furious about.
Was that the one Jeff Gordon won?
Yes.
Yeah, I remember now. Yeah, it was like bombarding them from.
Oh, they're throwing full cans of beer, full Coke cans. I mean, they weren't throwing Pepsi cans, they're throwing Coke cans.
You know you're pissed off when you waste a full beer. Especially at those prices.
Whatever it was, and I don't even remember what those were about.
Frank Mathalia's on. He said, finally have a real motorman on, referring to you.
Oh, wow.
James Bender says, just smash down the collar to go faster.
Yes,
From a tire guy. That's great. Warren, we did a lot. And Frank says, Warren, we did some call testing a lot in the desert.
We did.
Yeah.
In Mesa.
So, okay, let's fast forward to now. All right, so Dale Jr.'s early years, like you have experience in what you've done, and you're now trying to help him, go from his late models to Xfinity and then Cup. So
Right.
there had to be some trying times there.
There were.
Yeah.
And again, his younger days, he was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
He was the sport. I mean, we all
Sure.
remember those days well. He lived right across the street from the shop
Yep.
and would have a lot of parties.
Club E.
Club E, the basement, that turned into like the pool hall,
Right.
The upscale pool hall.
Yeah.
So anytime there was a win, one of my most memorable wins was the Dover win right after 911.
Yeah.
Yes, I remember that too.
And they had a very large party, and it was a just off the charts crowd.
Yeah.
Didn't want to leave, so I stayed in the shop out back.
Okay,
The
yeah.
big shop was almost as bigger than
Right.
the house. Yeah.
I crashed on a couch,
Yeah.
and all I hear is this car door slam, and it's about 5 o'clock in the morning. Sun was almost getting ready to come out, and I heard those boots. And I'm like, oh crap. He went in the house to figure out who was there. I got in my truck, went across the street into the gym where we did the workout for the pit crew, got a 911 shower, zip in, early to my station.
Right.
He was already in my station, arms crossed, leaning on the bench, just looking at me.
Yeah.
Dale Sr.
Right.
And he goes, hey, he said, when I went across the street a little while ago, there's this pickup truck in the driveway. When I came out, it was gone. And it's over here now. He said, you want to tell me something? I said, I'm not going to say a thing. He said, well, hey, we brought you here to help straighten this out and not be a part of it. And I'm like, he said, but that was a pretty damn good win. Wasn't it? And I went, yes, sir. Yes,
He
sir.
knows.
So,
Yeah, it's fun.
so it was, he treated you like family, like
Right.
you were a son.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the similarity with Dale Sr. and Robert Yates. They both treated their people, their employees, like family. And they expected everything you had,
Right.
and just as they
Right.
gave it, and they took care of you, complimented you,
Right.
and rewarded you properly.
Yep.
And so you've carried that on because now you're a mentor now. So fast forward to today with Roush-Yates. Is it performance? Roush-Yates engines.
So Roush-Yates engines,
Ford performance.
Ford Performance.
So when did you start back there?
So 09 was my last year over the wall.
Okay.
Was actually with Joey Logano, rookie year at Joe Gibbs.
Okay.
That was a really neat experience with Joey. We talked about it from his rookie year Daytona 500 where he about 20 laps in fenced the car and was scared to death when the media was coming for him for the interview. And we're like, hey, take a breath, go out there and face it.
Right.
And then 2 many years later, he wins the Daytona 500.
Right.
And this whole, resurrection of his career at Penske. So real proud of him for what he's accomplished and turned things around. But to your question there, it was the role there at Roush-Yates was there. Doug and I used to butt heads a lot when we were working on engines.
Right.
And he said, listen, I want somebody to get involved with the business side. I want to still do what I do. And he said,
Okay.
if you can help us, we've got a parts store we're wanting to get involved with. We need some help because you know the racetrack, you know the relationships. We're going to get our contracts really organized with you and have you manage our contracts with our teams. And,
Right.
and that's my number one role.
Okay.
That's, the engine lease program, you have contracts.
Right.
Yes.
And so that's what my role was because I knew most of the car owners
Yeah.
and it was easy to go navigate and talk
Yeah.
to them and what do you need, what do you want, and it was what we need and the whole negotiation part. So handled that, still handle that to an extent. And then we've gotten into two other real big areas. One, manufacturing. So everybody had CNC machines. Robert Yates was one of the first ones to do it. He was the first one to do it with the cylinder head he brought out, the Yates head from Ford. And that evolved into many more machines. And then a lot of the teams put together programs and sponsor deals to get machines to make parts for their cars.
Yeah.
Because we wanted to make everything be
Whether Akuma, Haas,
Cincinnati.
yeah.
okay, right. So the interesting thing, Gene Haas came to Robert Yates way before he ever did the Hendrick thing, and he said, "Hey, I want you to do a program with this machine." And Robert didn't know how it would work, and he didn't understand trading machines for engines. And he said, "No, I'm just going to build my engines, and you can be a customer." and Gene ended up going to Rick's program and put all his machines in there. We were like real jealous of all those nice machines, but. You know, it just kept evolving to where now we have a lot of military contracts.
Okay.
We do a lot of stuff with General Dynamics, Lockheed Martin. We're getting into medical programs, building another division to where as racing has gotten more and more condensed, consolidated, we've seen, keep our guys working. Our guys and girls are always going to need jobs and dedicated people. You know, if they're hardworking, we're going to have a place for them.
So, you know, on that note, you know, when I got to DEI in '98, we had Cincinnati already.
Right.
You know, so I don't know. That's kind of a trendsetter there. You know, did Robert already have someone or not yet?
He didn't have a relationship. Robert wanted the freedom to buy what he wanted because different machines are better at certain types.
Absolutely.
But Dale Sr. was really
he was definitely a trendsetter on that. Yeah.
So he put the Cincinnati together. They had 6 or 7 machines.
Made
all the parts.
It was maybe 60 by 40 that machine shop, but they had some pretty fancy for the day.
Time,
So people that don't know, real quick, explain to them how the CNC machine, computer numerically controlled, is that what it stands for?
Good.
Explain real quick what they do, so some people don't know.
So you know, he'd probably do a better job. I'll do the layman's job.
Got it.
So this is a mill, a lathe, all into one, and you put a block of aluminum or steel in it, and it can do all this different machine work as the piece either spins or stays still, or the tool spins. And it'll do cylinder heads, it'll do engine blocks,
Candles, holders.
Yeah, don't make Robert Yates, when we buy a nice piece of equipment, he said, if I see you guys making key tags or key chains, I'm selling everything. But like Warren said, you know, you think of the traditional shop with a lathe or a Bridgeport mill.
Right.
These machines are like large cabinets that have everything inside of them. It's all automated. It's all electronic controlled. You program it to where it makes all the machine moves by itself, and it's all automated to where you can really replicate parts. Cylinder heads, you can make them exactly the same, one after the other, versus hand grinding.
If you make 100 of them, every 100 comes out exactly the same.
Right.
When I
The
first
tolerances are unbelievable.
When I just got to DI, I used to just to be amazed by these machines and all the tools, and it would just pick up and bring them at RCR, the Akuma machines. It was like, I don't know, I just thought it was just the coolest thing in the world that, you know, they could do that. Scott Daniels, Clark is one of the best people I've ever worked with. I enjoyed running gas when he was the gas man on the A-car.
Yeah,
Great buddy.
Great guy right there.
Yes.
Okay, so now, you said you and
Doug.
Doug Yates, and then all of a sudden you said, hey, look, we're older and more mature now.
Oh yeah. When we were 25 to 28, we knew everything. Just asked.
Sure.
Oh yeah.
And so I come from a family business. My mom and dad's insurance company, and I wasn't gonna pry or make a mess there at the Robert Yates racing thing. Plus, Doug was doing a phenomenal job of what he was organizing, structuring there back then, laying the groundwork for what he's built today. So I wanted to race. I wanted to be on the race team side of it. So I exited and went to DEI and had a great run there. And I think through the wins and the success there, I think I earned a lot more respect back from Doug. Growing up,
So
you did it on your own.
Right.
did on my own.
Yeah.
He was kind of like the big brother, and I was always along under his wing. When I finally stepped out and did that, I think I earned a lot of credibility with him.
Good.
And then many years later, he wanted someone to come back on the business side and be the glue, so to say, in that, so he could stay focused on the engines. And that's where we've been ever since.
You started your short track program, or did you kind of get away from that a little bit?
No, so we did the grassroots engines for a while, and that's what led to the driver development. So we talked about that a little bit. Your guest last week. So
Yeah.
Briscoe.
So we got into grassroots engines about the time the truck programs really reduced in factory support everywhere. Chevy, Ford, Toyota, they're all cutting the money there, putting more in Xfinity. We went from like 21 truck team programs to like 5.
Yeah.
So we had a lot of guys we need to keep working. So we went after dirt late model, sprint car, off-road truck. We were building about 100 different types of engines,
Okay.
Wow.
and we were building about 1,000 of them a year.
Kept you busy.
Kept us busy, and we turned a lot of money, but we realized that we weren't making a profit.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, by the way,
So yeah,
Doing that much with
Yeah.
too much difference.
so it's good to have an accountant.
so yes, and
Yeah.
that's Marianne Baldwin I talked about.
Yeah,
She's our
right.
chief operating officer,
Right.
keeps us organized.
It's always good someone to go, guys, this looks cool, but bottom line is this is not very cool. Yeah.
The cool part is we won, I think, 18 championships in 3 years.
Right.
We did a really neat deal with Stenhouse and his sprint car program, and won like in the 360 series, won like 3 championships in a row.
Wow.
So that was a really neat deal there.
Yeah.
And then off-road truck, we did a lot of really neat things there, putting NASCAR, cup engine technology into these engines.
Which got to be huge for them.
So can I ask you this, and you can just give it a quick. One of my biggest things is that the 550 package that we have doesn't take off.
Right.
Because of that tapered spacer. And my question to you is like, couldn't you guys build a 550 horsepower engine that has better throttle response, so we're not all balled up on these restarts?
Oh, yeah.
and wouldn't that, to me, that would be better for the sport than to have all these. We have these tapered spacer and restrictor plate starts that if someone doesn't get going, they get ran over, and then you kill 20 cars.
Yeah.
And I get that NASCAR wants to keep everybody closer, tighter, don't want anybody running away, but to me, you gotta have some throttle response.
I agree. So I think that the solution we have right now was a quick one to get us instantly to a power level we thought was safer for the drivers and the cars and
Right.
track. So yeah, the throttle response is not there. Interestingly enough, even as early as the early 90s, Robert Yates would go to NASCAR and said, if we went to like a 5-liter engine, 300 cubic inches.
Yeah.
That's more what we need to where we can get back to the side-by-side racing. He said, these guys are like flying airplanes right now.
Yeah.
Right.
And that became the comment more and more later in time when they really were flying cars, go off in the corner.
Yeah, absolutely.
To set it arrow-wise, not what they felt mechanically in their butt or in their steering wheel,
Right.
Yeah.
but what they felt with the arrow. So there'd be a way to do that. We'd go
you
smart
do it with
displacement.
you're going to do it with displacement and or compression, right?
Compression, yeah. That's one way to get it back. But there's a lot of rules in place now that we're doing best we can with what we have.
Right.
All right, we got 3 minutes left. Tell us about your kids, your family.
Sure. So I was married with Shauna Robinson.
That's right.
We have 2 beautiful children. Tanner Clark, who's cancer-free and healthy these
I was
days.
gonna-
Nice.
How old?
He is 24, just turned 24. Has the same birthday as Dale Sr. So
Is he
April-
7.5 foot tall?
April
he's-
30th?
Yeah,
Is he-
April
April
29th.
29th.
April
Okay, it was
29th.
April 30th, sorry.
Yeah, so he is about 6'4".
Shocking.
He's not as stout as I am, but
Right.
a lot of that was hampered what he was going through his chemo.
Right,
and cancer.
right,
But
right.
he's putting his weight back on. He's healthy. He's doing great.
People didn't throw oil dry on the ground.
No, he's not. So one thing about him that's very interesting is we talk about esports.
Yeah.
He is a world-ranked esports player with Call of Duty.
Oh, wow.
So,
Really nice.
Been
That's big.
I wonder-
several professional
I
teams.
have to see
You got 2 of them close by here.
Yeah, so we've been real proud of him. He, we used to not understand esports or
Right.
games. We thought, kid, go
Yeah.
get
It's a
your books
waste
out.
of time.
Sorry,
It's
we
really
Never
not.
learned anything. Well,
Yeah.
one year he came home and he broke like 6 figures earnings one year while he was homesick going through
Really?
his chemo. Oh yeah, we're like, okay, maybe you have something.
When you say 6 figures, but here's your rent.
Stop watching TV. No.
Go back to your game. Go back to your game. So, and that was
What are you doing outside? Get in the house.
that was his release to
Okay,
get away from
good.
all the chemo and stuff, and it put him back in the gaming world, and he's
Good.
really in a good place with that.
Good. And your
Good.
daughter?
Our daughter Samantha, she actually works with us now.
Oh, really?
So
How old is she?
she is 22, 23,
Okay.
just
Got
turned
it.
23 in July. So started out covering for someone who's on maternity leave, and was there about 3 to 6 months, and earned a position in our production management for
Okay.
the machine shop.
Very nice.
So she's helped routing jobs to different machines now. So
Wow.
kind of like a
Perfect.
service writer at a dealership.
Okay. Yep.
She's
Perfect.
helping us route projects and really nice work. So I'm happy and proud of her.
You should
You,
be.
you know when I seen you back in the garage, because after your motorcycle tender thing and you came back,
Yep.
I wasn't surprised first to see you with Doug.
Yeah.
And when we talked and you told me that you were doing, I was like, that's a perfect guy. He knows everybody here. He's buddies with everybody here.
Right.
Everybody likes him.
Right.
So, it's like it was a good deal. It was just good because
it was great, and to get that opportunity with Doug to go back to work, my childhood best friend, and put all our stuff behind us. But it was also pretty intimidating. Just we talked about Dale Senior being intimidating. One of the first projects we took on was onboarding Penske.
Oh, okay.
And so meeting with your bosses,
With Roger,
Mr. Penske and Mr. Tim Cindric.
But he already knew you.
He knew me, and we had a great rapport starting out. And he's another one of those icons that you in awe when you're with them.
Yeah, you get goosebumps when you sit down when he says hi to you.
Well, every time you see him, he's like, "Hey, come here." By the way, no wings tonight. The reason why is Jeff has a allergic to poultry, so out of respect for him, we didn't do wings tonight. So that's why Waldy McCarty says, "So I missed 1 week, and you turn into David Letterman in NASCAR and have big time guests like Jeff Clark." Seriously, one of the all-time good guys in the industry who I was blessed to meet while I worked in the engine shop at Team Penske. So, all right, man, we're at the top of the hour here, man. I want to thank you very much.
Oh man, great
awesome
story.
Insight.
Thanks for having me. I love you guys. Man.
And don't forget, check out pubtableracers.com. There's a new story up there. It's our website, and we're on Spotify, YouTube, Instagram. What else? Google, TikTok. We got it all out there. And by the way, if you want some cool merchandise, go to the website. It's there. Like Warren said, we need the beer money, and we don't. It's just not for us. Just so you know.
Do you do outtakes after this product? The Burt Reynolds movie?
We don't have it. No, we don't have it.
Because it's all live.
It's all live. But anyhow, we appreciate it. Everyone says great show. Thank you guys. Appreciate all of you for tuning in.
Live from Honeysuckle Big Loop Studios. It's Pub Table Racer.
Cheers.
Good night, Dick.
Good night, Dick.
See ya. Thanks, everybody. Wow. Hey, another great show. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. We appreciate it. We do this every Tuesday night, and Warren, I think the guests we've had have been fantastic.
Phenomenal.
And the people that are following us, we appreciate it. We're reaching 42,000 people a month. Can you believe that? And we appreciate you watching. And
we're having fun. Hope everybody else enjoys it.
That's it. This is just a fun show. Bucket of beer. Guys sitting around talking about it. So keep tuning in. We appreciate it. Check out our store and everything. But we appreciate you people, and we will see you next week. Right, my friend?
Yes, sir.
All right. See you next week.